Hello to everybody, this is Gaia, I'm filming from Italy, and today it's June the 12th, and this is my 27th or something Talk to Me Tuesday. And by the way, I reached 100 videos on YouTube. That has shocked me a little bit. They are 100 and so few Talk to Me Tuesday because every week I film an Italian and an English version. So if somebody has interested in hearing some Italian, you can switch also to the other version of my Talk to Me Tuesday. And I also have some tutorials on my YouTube channel for sewing different things for only in Italian, these for the Italian ladies. So here we are again with the Talk to Me Tuesday. Today it's raining, they say it's raining cats and dogs. Probably today it's hippos and elephants because it was a storm this morning. Anyhow, now the weather is getting a little bit better and there's still enough light to film. What have I done this week? I've started my trees again. I know it's almost ridiculous. My mother is superstitious, and she says that when you start something in the wrong way, you can't fix it anymore. I'm the opposite of superstitious, so I get terribly angry when she says so. But I have to admit that for the trees, I'm starting to think that she is right and I've done something wrong with them, because it's almost incredible how long they are taking me. And this time I finished the thread while I was doing the free motion embroidery. So I have to buy the thread again, and there's only one shop that carries it in Trieste, and I'm not particularly fond of that shop, but I'm afraid I'll have to go, because otherwise the poor trees will be waiting again more and more. So I've done some free motion, different kinds of free motion, always looking at the videos of Leah. And now there's no way I can show you this. Anyhow, now I've done all the trees are already quilted, and 3/4 or more than of the background. I'm still missing one of the long sides there, and a portion of the one on top, and then 1/2 of the trees are ready. I still have to do the other half that are halfway quilted. And then finally I can bind it. And I'm particularly curious because my friend has bought at one of the markets one of these strange things that you can fix on your sewing machine to do an automatic binding. You just feed inside of it a long strip of fabric that can be cut on the bias if you need to turn around things, or can also be on the right grain of the fabric if you just have to do long lines, straight lines, sorry. And you feed this fabric strip inside of it, and he just, how can you say, he churns it around, and then you can sew directly on top of it without having to press it and everything beforehand. I'm curious of doing it because this one can only be done with this technique, and I think that I'll get completely crazy doing by hand 3 meters for 2 times. That's something like almost 8 meters of binding could get me crazy. I'm not particularly patient with these kinds of jobs. So I'll try it. I'll show it to you next time, maybe, how this thing is done. And certainly there are more of these objects in the US that I don't know about, but if you have experiences, I'll be interested to know about it. And then there's another thing I wanted to show you, and this is here. I received my EQ7. Up till now it's a love and hate relationship. Probably more hate than love in this moment. So why? I have to say first of all that I'm a Mac user. I'm a very, very convinced Mac user. So I had to put an emulator on my laptop to make EQ7 work, and I'm not particularly fond of how these things work in the beginning. So this is the first thing that I have to say. But other from that, I think that it really works strangely sometimes. I've done some of my paper piecing patterns beforehand with Quilt Assistant, and you can export them and import them in EQ7, so I was particularly happy of this, and I imported them and when you open them, everything is fine. They look great. The colors are also identical to the one I chose beforehand, and everything is perfect. When you try to change some of the lines, and as soon as I moved one of the lines, all the colors went crazy, and every time I moved something, the block went completely crazy. So I've been searching high and low on the web on some kind of information about foundation piecing patterns on EQ7. I found one of the tutorials, and she is pretty clear, but I still can't get the hang of some of the things, and also printing gets me crazy sometimes because I can't understand why the shades of gray and black happen when they happen and so on. So this is getting me a little bit crazy, but I really have to say I love the possibility of choosing the fabrics for doing the view of how the block will turn out. So any help will be greatly appreciated. And this was the last thing I wanted to show you. Here it is. There. So this is the symbol of the patchwork shop that it's right here in Trieste, where I live, in Opicino. The owner is called, her surname is Fox in Italian, and so her shop is called Red Fox. And I think that her banner is really so cute, the little fox. I'll put here the original drawing. So I wanted to do something for her because she's such a nice lady, and she frequently does free demos in her shop, and they are really nice and well explained, and she really is a very nice person. I don't buy much by her shop because I have so much stuff home that I could really go on quilting without problems, without buying anything more for a few years, I think. So I wanted to give her something to show her my appreciation for her job. I free motioned the tail like it was some like the hair, to show up the hair on top of it, and then I free motioned with the grass-like stitch the grass. The eyes are just appliqued on top, and I'll go give it to her today probably. So this is all for my Talk to Me Tuesday. As always, a pleasure to see all of yours, and hopefully we'll see us next week if I have something to show you. And fingers crossed I'll go on and stitch my trees, because they were my first for 2012 and I'm still stuck there. I know. What can I say? I'd be happy if I finished the trees for the 2012, I have to admit. So goodbye, as always. See you next week.